can see on that black paper. The first time I did this, I did it on the plain white table. All right, so we're learning as we're going along how to do things. Like I said, I didn't do this activity till later last term, but I want to get you into some hands-on stuff. So they couldn't see very well, so I put black paper down, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. It's problem solving. All right, I had some straws, some string. I went through the demonstration. All right, and I wasn't happy with the results. That's a universal systems method of problem solving. You have input, which is all of your materials. All right. You go through a process and you get results. I wasn't happy with the results. That's my feedback. So I went back through the process. I put black paper down. Makes it 100% easier to see. So you can see I have two strings right here. One of them I had to curl because it's so long. All right. This is my long 40-inch string right there. And then this is just 25-inch string. So all I did was I just took my ruler and I just went 1, flipped it over 2, and made the string a little bit longer than that for my short one. And I just went 1, 2, 3, made it a little bit longer than that for the long one. So you don't have to be 100% accurate with the strings. First thing you're going to need, 3 straws. That's it. So I'm going to move 3 of them aside. I need 3 straws. And I want to put those 3 straws on the long string. So I'm going to grab my long string and I want to put 3 straws on. Now you can do it 2 ways. You can try to put it in and push it through, and that takes a long time. Or you can do it in a little bit more gross method. So once I put the straw on, I'm going to push it towards the end. The other way to do it is to put the string partway in, about 1 inch or 2, and then with your mouth on the end of the straw, pull it up through. But you got to be careful. If you pull it up through too quick with your mouth, the string is going to go halfway down your throat and you're going to be like, and pulling it out. But that is the quickest way. I put it in about a couple inches. I put my mouth on this end and I pull it through, and it's so easy. So right there, now I have the 3 straws on my long string. That's the first goal. Okay. I'm trying to make a triangle. So common sense. Here's my 3 straws. I'm trying to turn it into a triangle shape, just like that. The directions say, however. So I'm going to put my hands on my straws and I'm going to pull because I want one string to be short and one string to be really long before I tie them. All right. So I've got 3 straws on my long string. Now I just need to tie them together. It's just like tying your shoelaces. I've got 1 shoelace here, 1 shoelace here. Well, to tie a knot, you go over, under, and pull. And you want to pull that tight, just like that. And then you have to do that twice. So I'm going to go over, and when you go over the string, it creates a loop, and you always stuff the tail up and through the loop. And that's how you do a double knot. And that's the first step. It's just to make a triangle. 3 straws, long string, thread them on. Make sure one end is shorter than the other before you tie a double knot. The second step is to make the diamond. Well, Chalet Mitchell found an easier way to do it last year. Okay. What we used to do is now we have something tied to this. This is called a vertex, where 2 or more things come together to create a point. So a triangle has 3 vertices. We're not going to do anything to this one again. Once you tie something to that vertex, you leave it alone. So what we used to do is take this short string now, and I used to tie it to one of these empty vertices. And that was a little bit more difficult. So what we do now is we just take the short string and I put it through the base of the triangle. So I'm going to start, same thing. I'm going to thread it through. This is a little more difficult. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to try to get my mouth on this little end right there. And I'm going to pull it through. And I want it so that part of the string is hanging out of both vertices. Okay, so I still got my original knot up the top. And I've got my short string going through the base. And I've got half hanging on this side, half hanging on this side. almost looks a little bit like jellyfish tentacles. All right. Now you're going to take 2 straws, and I'm going to put 1 straw on each of the strings. So I just pick up this string, put it through, pull that through with my mouth, come over to this side, put it a couple inches in, put it through in my mouth. Okay. Now all I need to do is tie these 2 together because I'm trying to make a diamond. So same thing. I go over my string, and then I go under, and I pull it together nice and tight. And then I do the same thing. I go over the string, stuff my tail through that loop, and I pull. And that's a double knot. So now I've gone from a triangle, put the short string through the base so that it looked like jellyfish tentacles, put a straw on each, and just tied those 2 ends together to make a diamond. Now I go back to that original long string from step 1, and I put my last straw on it. Pull it through. And now what happens is I'm going to pick up the bottom of the diamond and the straw, and that's going to come together to make it 3-dimensional. Now this is where it gets a little bit flimsy. So what I do is I take the string and I just throw it over the straw and under the straw, and I pull it tight. I'll throw it over the straw, pull it under the straw, and pull it tight. And now that gives me a nice tight tetrahedron. But I still need to tie my knot. So same thing. I'm going to go under a straw so that I make a loop, and I stuff that tail through the loop, and I pull. That's once. I go under the straw, stuff the tail through the loop, and pull, and that's twice. And now I went from a triangle, which is a 3-sided polygon, to a tetrahedron, which has 1 face, 2 faces, 3 faces, 4 faces, and it's just a 3-dimensional pyramid. It's that easy. It's 3 steps. I'm going to turn this off, go back